And hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, I thought it would be fun to talk about something that's been around for quite a while, and everybody's dealt with to some degree or another. April Fool's pranks. I think we can all agree that it's about time that we're done with April Fool's pranks. Like, I'm gonna be honest, there's something fun about, like, the whole concept of the day. Like, oh, it's a day that, you can, you know, make a bit more extreme of a joke than normal without anybody getting too mad. But it's hit the point where it's just gone too far. Especially with, like, how companies are involved and how, like, just in general, the internet in general reacts to April Fool's Day. Like, for example, if anybody, pays any attention to sports, you know that every day on April Fool's Day, there's going to be some deal about how some news, quote unquote, posted about how blah, blah, blah player got traded or cut or, whatnot. And it's just kind of a matter of something that's going to happen every April Fool's Day, pretty much, period, end of story. And it hits a point where it's kind of annoying. Like, just don't. Like, April's Fool's Day, when it's in kind of shorter things that it's obvious that it's an April Fool's, I don't find it as big of a deal. But what annoys me is how everybody's taking it to a point where April Fools come around and, you know, you get so many videos that you see people responding to with stuff like, I I think this is an April Fool's. I sure hope it's an April Fool's, but it's not obvious via the, content itself that it is a joke, right? And that's part of the thing about jokes. Is it's like, jokes are fine. Even like pretty bad jokes are typically fine as long as, it's made clear it's a joke. Like, for the most part, regardless of what the joke is, as long as it's clear it's a joke, I try never to, really let myself be bothered by it. Um, but the problem with April Fools is you don't know that it's a joke going in. Like, some people do post legitimate content on April Fools, but so many people post, like, I'm quitting videos and stuff like that. And the fact of the matter is, most people aren't paying super close attention, like, oh, it's April Fool's today. I gotta, make sure that I'm ready to, you know, have everybody lying to me. Like, some people notice, some people don't. And for the people that don't notice, and I'm one of those people that don't always notice immediately because I'm not typically paying super close attention to the date unless I have something going on soon that, is on a specific date or whatnot. In which case, I'll pay closer attention. But most of the time, I remember by what day of the week it is. Like, oh, it's it's Friday. I have something going on Sunday, so I have to be ready to do this thing on Sunday, and just stuff like that. But so like I'm not paying very close attention to the fact that it's April Fools and everybody's gonna be posting, this sort of stuff, and like I don't know. As I was saying, it just kind of gets really annoying, where like the problem is if it doesn't get you, it's just kind of annoying. Like, if you see a YouTuber that you watch post a video like, oh, I'm quitting on April 1st. If you know that it's April 1st, then it's just kind of annoying. Like, really? You're pulling this? But if you don't realize that it's April 1st, then you might legitimately think that your favorite YouTuber's quitting for a bit. And what does that avail for the content creator or whatever? Like, even if it's like an, oh, I got you moment, like, haha, you actually fell for it. It's like, yeah, I actually fell for it. You posted a video about how you were quitting and never made a reference to being a joke, and made a fairly serious video about quitting. And sure, it was April Fool's, but why should that matter? And, like, yeah. And I think April Fool's done right is like, just small pranks. Like, for example, a Discord server I was in had their profile picture set to show a permanent one ping on the server. So, like, it always showed that there was a ping going. And it was kind of like, it was annoying, but it's also kind of funny. Like, oh, haha, that's actually a decent April Fool's prank. But there's stuff where it's like, yeah, it has to be clear that it's a joke for something like the whole, like, oh, I'm quitting YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Like, the reason why they do it has nothing to do with, the joke itself. It's legit just oh, I'm going to post a video that is almost for sure going to do well viewer-wise. And, those videos do really well from a viewer perspective. Like, I bet they see worse views on April 1st than any other time of the year. But I bet that they still see views because, as I was saying, not everybody pays super close attention to the fact that it's April 1st. And those people, aren't going to have any idea that you're kidding and will legitimately think that you're quitting YouTube. Or that you're kidding. Sounded like I said quitting. But yeah. I don't know. I guess the whole point of this video is just kind of a, hey, I'm kind of fed up of April Fool's jokes. Any chance we can decide that, we can, as a society, start ending that now? Because, yeah, like, as I was saying, I have absolutely nothing wrong with an April Fool's joke that's like, oh, we put a one ping on Discord. Or a joke that's obvious that it's a joke. The problem with April Fool's jokes, I guess, I think the best way to put it is it's hit a point where people are no longer making jokes and people are just putting stuff out which, is pretty much just a flat out lie and going, oh, haha, it's April Fool's, you fell for it. That's funny, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, no, you just put out a flat out lie and then for views and then said, oh, it's April Fool's. Haha. Like, you see it, like I mentioned the whole sport world thing before, but like a very specific example is every time that April Fool's comes around, there's always a video or two about how Aaron Rodgers has been traded from the Green Bay Packers or whatnot. And, like, during times when it actually seems plausible that could happen, it hits a point where it's like, yeah, you're not making a good joke. You're just telling a lie, and when people fall for it, saying that it's funny. And, like, I've always had a pet peeve with people that, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. With people that just tell flat out lies, and then say that it's funny or that it's a joke, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's not a joke. You just flat out told a lie, and then when somebody fell for the lie that you told, you said it was funny. And I don't know. And, like, especially, like, for people that don't pay a lot of attention to sports, right? They wouldn't know the whole, Aaron Rodgers gets traded every year, April Fool's thing. But, like, people who only pay a little bit of attention to American football, they would see something like that and probably think that it's legit. And the other thing that happens, too, is it's not like people post the videos and then delete them on April 2nd. I mean, it would still be bad, but it would probably be a bit better if they did that. But even if you're prepared for stuff on, April 1st for April Fools, you still have to be, like, aware for the next, like, week that any recently posted videos of stuff like that was for April Fools. And it just really hits a point where it's obnoxious and annoying, more so than enjoyable for really anyone. Because even if you make use of April Fools to, do something that you think's really funny, you still have to spend the rest of the day getting lied to by everyone. And I don't know. It just, I think that it's overdone and kind of annoying. Like the whole day in general. When it's something that we could so easily just like not do. Because I think it's also bad for society in general to like make light of just flat out lying. Like actual jokes that are meant to be jokes and it's clear that they're jokes. Like as I said, I try to not really, even if it's like a joke that, wouldn't necessarily be, is like pointed at the sort of like groups that I'm in or, sort of person that I am. Even when that's the case, I still try to, be like, okay, it's a joke. I don't really care. And, let it slide because if, when somebody else, I'd probably think it was really funny, right? But, and to just kind of not care and let it go because, humor's nice. And if we get offended by everything, then it kind of hits a point where it's, not exactly fun for anyone. I don't know where I was supposed to be going with that. Oh, am I? Okay. I've already played this map, but I'm getting confused. But, yeah, like, it's one thing when it's clear that it's made to be a joke. And, if it's clear that it's made a joke, I think that regardless of how offensive we might think it is or whatnot, it's good to just kind of shrug it off and go, yeah, I don't really mind because it's clear that it was made as a joke and wasn't, super serious. But when people are just telling it flat out lies and it's not clear that it's meant to be a joke, it hits a point where it's just like, really? What was the point of that? Like, what did you realistically get out of that? Anything? Is there legitimately anything that you get out of that? Or is it just like, the thing that confuses me is, do people really think it's funny when they just flat out tell a lie and then people get tricked by it? It's like, you're the one that just told the lie. So you think it's funny that they trust you when you say something? Like, what kind of logic is that? Like, the reason why they fell for the lie isn't necessarily because they're gullible. They might have fell for the lie for no other reason than they trust you as a person. And then you think it's funny that, you burned that bridge and ruined the trust that the person had in you? Like, I don't get it. And maybe, there is something super funny about it and I just don't get it or whatnot. But, like, I don't know. It just really seems like, humor's... That's not exactly what humor is. And, like, okay, there's also a line to be walked here that I should probably address here, which is, sarcasm. And as somebody that participates a lot in sarcasm, I feel like I should probably make it clear that there is a difference between what I'm talking about and sarcasm. Like, the whole point of sarcasm is that it's obvious that it's a joke. And people that claim to do sarcasm and then don't, like, change their tone of voice at all when doing it or stuff like that, because that's the main way to tell sarcasm part is, you get to a point where you learn the person that's doing the sarcasm, and, as long as they're changing their voice for it, then it's really obvious that it's sarcasm. It's kind of like, oh yeah, and it gets to the point where it can be really funny. So, like, very important distinction here is I'm definitely not talking about sarcasm with this. Because I can definitely see how somebody would mix that up because, it wasn't exactly super clear. But, yeah. But ultimately, I don't know. it worries me when, as a society, we've started making days that are for no other purpose than just lying to everyone. And as I said, April Fool's jokes can be great. The whole like fake ping on servers and stuff like that is kind of funny, and it's annoying. Don't get me wrong, but it's still the point where like, yeah, I can see the humor in that. That seems kind of funny. Whereas like, you know, a trusted sports analyst posting that Aaron Rodgers was traded, I don't see the humor in that, especially when for the other 364 days of the year, you're posting serious sports content, and that's what people come to your page or whatever for. So like, I don't know. I think that it's time that as a society we either go, we need to get rid of April Fool's Day, or look, enough of this just flat out telling a lie and saying that it's an April Fool's joke nonsense. If you're making an April Fool's joke, make a joke. Don't just, that's actually funny. Don't just go, oh, you know, don't say something super serious and then pretend that, oh, it was just an April Fool's joke, just an April Fool's joke. Why are you taking it so seriously? Especially when you're talking about something important, or, you know, stuff like that. Like, save the April Fool's jokes for not important things. And once again, it's the whole deal about sarcasm. Don't tell it in a way where it's not obvious that it's a joke. At least that's my opinion on April Fool's jokes. If any of you have a different opinion, I'd be really interested to hear it. Mostly just because I'd be interested to hear, you know, like an actual justification for, you know, how far April Fool's jokes have gone, and just kind of hear the other opinion on this. Because, like, to be honest, I think that there probably are plenty of people that, you know, don't have a problem with April Fool's jokes and think that they're, you know, perfectly fine. And I'd be interested to hear why they think that way. And just, yeah, I don't know. So if you do have a different opinion, say in the comments. I'm curious. But anyway, guys, I think this is going to be all for this one. I hate saying it, but, you know, the algorithm's tough. If you can, like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed. And let me know what you think in the comments. God bless. Bye-bye.